And would like to thank the culinary crew, who is Susan Sanson, Corliss Ronicky, Lydia Morrison, Marilyn Maxon Lewis, who provide our meal each meet and greet day. Now, tonight we had special dessert though, and please try every bit of it because each different item is very good. And take it one home if you don't have room for it now. But remember, it all has to be gone. I don't know unless we want to take it back. I don't think so. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. You outdid yourself. So, and Mario for the sound system, he always comes through. And we really appreciate that. I don't know where Mario is. Also, we have some commissioners on the Community Service and Senior Citizen Commission. Here, Gail Mason, Betty Reyes, and Emy Flores. Michael wears another hat also. He is, no surprise, wears it well. LA County Commission for Child and Family Services. City Council member, he didn't make it tonight.
No, good.
Okay, we miss Oli. And we have tonight, she'll be introduced properly, but I'm very happy to have our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Emy Flores, with us today. And the Executive Assistant to the Superintendent is Monica Kelly. Very nice to have you here. Now, one last thing that I always say, and I guess people tell me that if you say it enough, we'll all remember it. But be careful when you step in or out of any of these doors, because it's either a step up or a step down. And we don't want anyone falling. Okay, we have a double speaker presentation tonight, and one that both are really have been looking forward to. The first one, Corliss Ronicky will introduce.
Okay, I'm going to introduce a young lady that was a member of our poster contest at this past 2 months, and she was one of our winners, and she won a $75 prize for her beautiful poster. And so what she did was she took $25 out of it, and she joined the Historical Society. So Slider is here with her parents and her brother. They're her parents, Jane and Tony Segovia, and her brother, Say. Right. So.
Hey.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sara Segovia. Today, I stand before you as the youngest member of our Historical Society. I am filled with excitement and a great sense of responsibility. Joining this group is such a great honor. When I was in 5th grade, I joined the Historical House Painting Contest, and I got interested in the setting of the challenge. I was in awe at the houses for how they looked, how they were built, and how they're preserved. I also met the beautiful Miss Cherie, who is at home and watching us right now. and some of the members, and I realized how great this group is. History isn't just about the past. It shapes our present and guides our future. As the youngest member, I want to bring a fresh perspective and a passion for learning that I hope will inspire others, especially the youth in our community, to engage with our rich heritage. Together, we can uncover stories that have been forgotten, celebrate our achievements, and learn from our challenges. I believe that by working together, we can foster a deeper appreciation for our history, which in turn strengthens our community bond. Let's encourage more young people to join us on this journey. Together, we can make history more relevant and exciting for everyone. Thank you for welcoming me into the society, and I look forward to working alongside all of you to help our community thrive to the power of history. Thank you.
Tyler, I'd like to present to you the official membership card. And this is one for your brother Sage, so if you take it back to him. And then for Mom and Dad, we have one for you, but we'll get it next time. Okay.
Thank you, Corliss. And thank you, Siler. We're very proud to have you as a member. And don't worry about it. We're going to involve you, and you'll have every opportunity that you want to help us out and learn, and give us some suggestions also. All right, now we have Michael, who will introduce our speaker for the evening.
I don't need that. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Before I introduce the speaker of the hour, I just want to let you know, tonight, you all, if you're not a part of this great organization, we'd love to see you become a part of the Historical Society, just like Skylar has. It only costs $25 a year. So what that's about? What, $2 a month? If you're not a member, please become a member. We have some donation left at the end of the table down here. So please, 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 look, you come in, you have good refreshments. Also, I'd like to thank the school district for bringing some of the donuts and everything. And our friend Sue Gino, she baked brownies for us also. So please, homemade fresh brownies. So please welcome yourself to see her husband in the back, Jeff. But anyway, also, I know she's going to get it. We have some on the tables, some of our facility updates. And next time you see this, you're going to see the real deal when the performing arts centers get finished being built. But on behalf of the Board of Education, which she probably introduced me, I'm a board member, been on the West Virginia Board of Education for almost 11 years, among other things. But I just got to say one thing. This executive secretary that we have, man, by God, I'll be lost without her. I told her she's the it. Let's leave it like that. Our district would not be the same without our executive secretary, Monica Kelly. She is a rock star. I'm sorry to put it. But now to others, if you haven't met her, I want to introduce you to some. Not only she is our superintendent, but she's my friend. And our district was always doing good, but she's taking us up to the next level. So I'm going to introduce to some and to others the one and only, our West Covina Unified School District Superintendent, Dr. Emy Flores.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to come back again. This is, I can't believe it, third time I've been here, and every time it's a pleasure to, I see a lot of the same faces and new faces as well. Tonight I have a presentation for you. First I have a video, and then I'm gonna go through the presentation because I really want you to know about the things that are going on in our district, not just academically, but also looking at from a, well, let me just back up a little bit. You see you have your facilities update, so I'm gonna cover a little bit about where your tax dollar funds are going to, and so much more. So at this point, Mario, thank you so much for helping me with this. If you could show the video, and then I'll move on to the actual presentation.
Sure.
West Covina Unified School District, we are unwavering in our dedication to excellence in education and citizenship. We believe in nurturing the holistic development of each student, providing supportive and enriching environments where students not only excel academically, but also discover and cultivate their unique talents and passions through a diverse array of extracurricular opportunities. Our district continues to thrive, building on a legacy of success. This past year, both Walnut Grove Middle School and Edgewood Middle School joined Holland Crest Middle School in being recognized as a California and National School to Watch, a prestigious honor awarded to the finest middle schools across the nation. Mount Sac Early College Academy were recognized as California Distinguished Schools, joining an elite group of 290 schools statewide with this exceptional distinction. And if that were not enough, Mount Sac Early College Academy was just named a 2024 National Blue Ribbon School for its...
Of course, it never fails, right? So why don't we do this? Let me get to my presentation, and if the video is working at the end, I will speak to that.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, let's close this window and go to the airport.
I'm trying to get out of it. I think I need to disconnect from that. You want to get into my PowerPoint and I'll speak then?
Sure.
So while we're trying to figure out the technical difficulties, what you have in front of you are American flags. So why am I bringing this? Just for fun, because Tuesday is election day, and there's so much at stake in this election. So you probably all already sent out your ballots, but if you haven't, please do so. So you have a flag. We also have some pins. So if you don't have any pins, let us know. We'll give that to you as well. All right. I need this. Okay. Before starting, I do want to say, for those of you who I haven't met before, who have not heard me speak before, I'm actually, in January, it will be my 3rd year joining the West Covina Unified School District. And so in applying for this post, I had a lot to consider. And one of the things that I considered was the community. Thinking about, is it a community where there are folks, different organizations, different service groups who are very much engaged in the community. I was also looking at the fiscal stability of the school district, and just looking at the programs already in place. So I'll talk a little bit about those programs that were already in place, and talk to you about what else are we doing to keep improving in the services and opportunities that we provide for our students each day. And for those of you who don't know, our vision, just like any other organization, this is something that is very important to us. Many organizations will come up with a vision and a mission and a vision. It gets posted somewhere and you never go back to it. At the end of the day, the question that I ask anytime that we're making decisions, and Mr. Flores knows this, is what we're doing in the best interest of kids. Because there's a lot of decisions to be made, and with millions of dollars and bond money and so many stakeholders, sometimes the politics can get in the way. But at the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves, is what we're doing in the best interest of kids? And are we doing what we can to make sure that the politics that are on outside are not coming in? So you'll hear a lot of things about critical race theory, you'll hear a lot of things about LGBTQ, a lot of things, and you probably have seen so many stories where the boardroom has become the place where all these political things are taking place. And at the end of the day, we go back to the same question, because those are distractors. Those are the things that keep us from focusing on what's in the best interest of kids. And so we ask, with the Board of Education, is what we're doing in the best interest of kids, and how do we stay focused on our vision and our mission and our vision so that we're able to best serve our kids. Now, as I say, we keep learning at the center of all we do, and we also want to make sure that we maintain our fiscal solvency. As many of you may know, many years ago, the state almost took over the district because of the fiscal problems that were in place. You were here at that time. Those are very difficult times. But I'm proud to say, you know, I've come here and Dr. Hinman, Chuck Hinman was a previous superintendent. He, along with the Board of Education, have done such an outstanding job that I'm able to come into a district that's already fiscally strong and be able to continue to doing great things. And of course, every parent knows that in the morning they take their children to school, and what is it that they want at the end of the day? They want to know that their children are safe. And so I take that very seriously. And you'll see some of the things that we have done to maximize safety, because you cannot guarantee anything for certain, but you could do a lot of things to maximize safety. And of course, engaging the community, because there is no way that our district could be successful just by us working alone. It takes a lot of stakeholders working together for the betterment of a school district. As an example, last weekend we had our Blue Ribbon event actually hosted by Rotary, and this is a very important tradition here in our community. And so of course, with Rotary and school district working together, we were able to put together something that I believe was an outstanding experience for our children and community at large. So when I came to West Covina Unified, the one thing that I was asked, can you hear me back there? Okay, this was a statement that was said, you know, Dr. Flores, that your job's going to be very difficult because you are coming into really a great district. And here's my answer. You know, it's wonderful. It's true, and this is one of the reasons I'm attracted to West Covina Unified. But here's the thing: we're going from good to great to excellent. There's a saying that goes, "Good is the enemy of great, but great is the enemy of excellence." And if we're always seeking opportunities to improve, I think we're always going to be working toward that. As an example, earlier on, I was having a just very brief conversation with Drexel, and we were talking about the Red Ribbon event that happened last week, and it was just a wonderful event. And you mentioned, you know, 99% probably perfect because we're always seeking ways to improve. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, how do we celebrate those things that are going great, and how do we take it to the next level? Because there's always opportunities. So as a district, that is how we operate. We look at what are our current practices, our program, how do we elevate them, and what other needs do we have as a school district, and what other work? Because we believe that the sky's the limit. There's so much to do. Our kids have so much in them, but if we do not do what we can as educators to expose them to different opportunities, to push them, to support them, then they're never going to reach their potential. Now, there's signature programs, and I'll mention a few, and then I'll talk about some of the new programs that we have. Of course, those of you who know Edgewood is one of very few, actually, let me go back. In our school district, we have an international baccalaureate program, and it has different components. It goes all the way, for our district, it's elementary, middle school, and high school. Guess what? There's only about 4 in the state of California that are the full spectrum kinder through 12. And I'm proud to say that we have a program here. At Orangewood is our elementary program. At Edgewood, we have our middle and high school program. We also have a dual language immersion program with Mandarin and English at Orangewood, and Spanish and English at Orangewood and Monte Vista Elementary. And for those of you who know about Mount Sac Early College Academy, and those of maybe some of you don't, that is a school where our students are able to get up to 2 years of college credit before they finish high school. Imagine that. As a parent, I'm thinking dollar signs, right? How much money can a family save if they know that their child who starts school already with their associate's degree and has 2 years? And in fact, we have some students who have come back to us. They're already graduating. There's one student that I'm thinking, as an example, Angelina. She was actually one of our student board members. She started at Berkeley with 73 units already, UC Berkeley. And she just graduated Berkeley this year, and she's getting ready to go to law school. And how old is she? If she's probably like, I believe she's 19 right now. So what an opportunity for students who may want to take advantage of this. Now, we have newer programs, because I can't keep saying I'm new. It's almost 3 years, so I'm getting the hint. These are some of our newer programs. Those of you who were here last time, you saw our speech and debate students. We are at the start of our 3rd year. Last year, Merced Elementary took 1st place in the state. It is unbelievable that in year number 2, our students were the state champions. And for nationals, now elementary doesn't have nationals, only middle school and high school. Our Edgewood Middle School students took 1st place. We're actually 1 of 5, and that bothers me. There's got to be one winner, but that's how they do it. Okay. I know we had the most points, but we're really the winners. So Edgewood was 1 of 5 national champions. Year number 2, who does that? West Covina Unified. We do that. Our students have so much in them. I operate from this notion that you don't know what you don't know. If you've never been exposed to something, how do you know that that may be our talent for you? And I take that very seriously, because when I'm thinking about different programs and opportunities that we can provide for our students, we need to be thinking big, outside the box. And we know that the ability to communicate, to have the confidence to have a conversation with anyone, that goes beyond the trophies, right? Beyond the bling. Those are skills that our children could take into their adulthood, and it can help them in any which way in their future. We also have a comprehensive arts program. So the idea is that when a child steps into any of our schools, from the moment they're in preschool, that they have arts instruction, access to different programs. And we have consultants who work with us. These are people who are experts in their area of the arts. And they come in. So every elementary student has 25 lessons scheduled throughout the year, whether it be dance, whether it be theater, whether it be, there's so many things, okay? And so that's something that we started 2 years ago in our school district. And I'm very proud of that, because we have a performing arts center seating over 500 people that's about to be completed. And our greatest talent was in high school and middle school music as well. And I thought, what about the kids in elementary? We didn't have a program. And so I'm very happy that we've moved in this direction. We have a shared theater arts grant experience program for any of you who have ever seen our plays. If you haven't, you need to go, and we're going to go ahead, Monica, if you take note, we'll send the information to our friends here at Historical Society, so we can invite you to these productions. These kids, basically it's all elementary, so if you can imagine theater arts in a box. So in a matter of 8 weeks, you go from auditions to production. We have 6 different plays. And so children, each year, the school will have access to different plays. So if you're a student at an elementary school, by the time that you wrap up your experience there, you will have opportunities to participate in all of those. And those are after school. We know that our children have other things that may be happening in their lives, but this is something that they could do. Another thing that we started is that we hired music teachers. Now, why did we do that? Again, with the belief that our children have skills and abilities and passions in them that they may not even recognize. I remember my first year, I loved going to the schools, and I went to Walnut Grove, and I'm walking, it was early during my time there, I'm walking into a music class, and the teacher was doing such a fabulous job, and I asked the principal, I said, now can you tell me who the feeder schools are that this teacher works with? And she gave me the strangest look. She says, we don't do music in elementary. I couldn't take it. So because of Prop 28, and you wonder, where do these funds go to? Prop 28 allowed us the ability to hire music teachers to our students in elementary, have music, and we already had it in middle school and high school. So We've got all sorts of things. We got, mariachi, you name it. We have lessons every day at our schools, and then we have after-school programs as well. Something else that we started. This is a partnership with Hearst Ranch. Actually, we already had that partnership, and it was it used to be that one school would go to Hearst Ranch, a couple schools actually, and do some lessons around farming. Okay, we expanded it. So now every fourth grader in our school district gets to go to Hearst Ranch, where they not only learn about the great history of our community, agricultural history, they get to plant, they get to learn. We have a partnership with a group in CalFresh, and we have teachers that come in and work with our students to not just teaching them about nutrition, but overall healthy habits that they can carry on with for life. So every fourth grader is able to go there for I believe it's 6 weeks at a time. That's how long these courses are. In addition to that, I believe that one of the greatest struggles that our families have is with childcare. We had an after-school program, and I thought to myself, our families, especially with the cost of living right now, they're struggling. What can we do to provide before and after school childcare for our families? And so we've been able to apply to some grants, and so now we have childcare in the morning at our elementary and middle schools. We don't have it in high school because our funding doesn't extend that far. And we have it, and then we have our program after school as well. So that's one great advantage. We want to be the school district where if you have a need as a family, if we can help, we will. Sometimes we can't, and we can't, and there's not a whole lot that we can do. But when we can, we will. What else are we doing? Hope I'm not boring you yet. Esports. Did you know that, and you see kids in this whole industry of esports. What is that? Well, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry of gaming and engineering. And so we actually started esports program in our school district. Why? The desire because we know that there are students out there who not every child's gonna be a jock, okay? Not every girl's gonna be a cheerleader. And so what opportunities can we offer to other students? Now with esports, our students are not only in the club where they play against kids from all over the country. You go actually in the class and you don't know they're in their headphones and they're so excited, and they're having these competitions with kids that may be in the other side of the country. In addition to that, they're also taking a computer science course, because it's not just about gaming, but what is the industry, and how do you learn computer science? If we're able to inspire a student that this might be something that they want to do post high school, imagine those kids could actually maybe be engineers. I don't know. They could be the ones that are designing these games and have access and opportunities to a career that could be very very lucrative for them. And so we sent out. I'm all about doing the best, okay? We're not gonna Mickey Mouse anything. So I took my team and I said, we're gonna take the principals and we're gonna take our directors. We identify the top gaming universities in the country. And they're here in Southern California. They're at USC and they're at UCI. And so we said, we're gonna go to UCI and we're gonna see what they're doing. And we're gonna copy them. Because, hey, I don't need to reinvent the wheel every time, okay? And we're gonna look, and I also sent the tech team to go out there so we can look at all the specs and the technology. Our technology in our rooms at our high schools is better than the technology at UCI. And so in year number 1, West Covina Unified became the state champion in esports. Who does that, right? So if you build it, they will come. And so there's so many achievements that we have, and I just feel so blessed. Like I said, I came into a school district where the School Board of Education and Dr. Hinman had already done a fabulous job, and they just laid such a wonderful foundation. So we're able to take this district from good to great to excellent and beyond. And so these are some of the things some of our accolades, and we're just so very proud. California Distinguished Schools, National Blue Ribbon School. Okay, let me tell you about that. Mount SAC Early College Academy is one of 30 schools in California that's been named a 2024 Blue Ribbon School. And so next week, I'm a little nervous about this because on the 6th through the 8th, we have to go up to Washington to accept the award. Why am I nervous? Because election, I don't know, the crazies are going to come out. But it's an exciting time for our school. And it's not, yes, we love the bling. We love the recognition. But you know what it does to a staff? You know what it does to students in the community to know that these are not being handed out freely. There's something going on that's great, and to have that recognition, it builds people up, and we're just so proud. We've had a lot of interest already from our community at large about Mount SAC. But you see, there's other great accolades: Title I academic achievement, U.S. News World Report silver and bronze medals for college readiness, etc. And of course, this year we have a 96.7 graduation rate. And somebody asked me about that because last year it was 99.2. And so here's our challenge, because when I saw 99.2, I went and did the math, and it was like we were short 5 students. And so we're celebrating, and I said, well, what about those kids? Those are somebody's children. What happened there? And here's our challenge. So I put a lot of pressure on my staff. I need you to track these students. Who are these students? My kids who are failing. Like, I need no kid falling through the crack. And I felt a little bit bad later on because there are some students, there's a point in the fall, once everything settles, where our numbers are numbers going to the state. If a child leaves your school district, their data stays with you. So when a student, say a senior, leaves our school district, but they don't graduate, we inherit the data. It counts against us. So I did have to apologize to my team. Okay. All right, so that's academic, but what about safety? We hear about these tragic events that are happening across our nation. And of course, if something were to happen, like, we can't guarantee anything, but what we can do is maximize opportunities to keep our school safe. So safety is not just the plan. Safety also has to do with our students' drug awareness, all of those things. It also has to do with mental wellness. And so I have a little bit of information. I could go on and on, but I thought I'd keep it brief. One of the things that we've been working on has to do with active shooter training. Imagine, I mean, when I became a teacher, I never in my mind thought that this is something that I would have to be training for, or that as superintendent I would ever have to be in a position where this is something that we need to train all staff, and then we need to also train our students. How scary, right? But that is the reality where we live, and you know, we want to make sure that we are ahead of the game. Just like how you have drills for earthquake, we have drills for this. And so without going into much detail, just know that this is something that it's not something that you do once a year. It's something that you have to continue staying informed. And we've actually also had some webinars for our families too, because they need to know what we're doing as a school district. In addition to that, in our district, we have spent $1.5 million on new cameras. So cameras could even read license plates. They could identify faces. And we're working very closely with West Covina Police Department to make sure that we're aligned in keeping our schools safe, and they have access to our cameras for events where there may be some crime or something like that. We've done other things like electronic door locks. They're not at all the schools. These are things that we're working on right now. Gate panic car work, fencing, making sure that all our schools have the fencing. And see, I'm that person who never wanted fencing in my schools, in my neighborhood, because I think I'm not always, I don't like them. But the reality is that I don't have to like them. The world we live in is a dangerous one. So we'll do what we need to do. So all our schools they have fencing. And then, of course, when it comes to other things, who would have thought that so many kids would be affected by fentanyl? Fentanyl has taken so many lives, and in all transparency, I gotta tell you that we've had 3 scares in our school district where we almost lost kids. But had it not been because we trained our principals and they carry the Narcan, 3 young lives would have been lost. And so the proactive steps that we take as a school district has already saved lives. And now it's not something that you'll see out in the news because we don't want that media, but it's something that is present. Now, there's no way that I'm gonna have a school that has selling of drugs on campus. I know I can't control it, but guess what? We've done a lot of things. As an example, we have drug sniffing dogs that go through our schools. Kids never know. We have areas that where there's sensors for vaping. We've done a lot of awareness with kids in assemblies about the dangers of drugs, fentanyl in particular, because that's something that is very present out there. Because in the past, when people thought of a drug user, they thought of a drug user looked a certain way, right? But fentanyl, that drug, it may be a young kid who maybe thinks that they're taking a muscle relaxer or something. You know, it looks different. And the young kid who may be dying from a fentanyl overdose is not necessarily the young kid that may be looking, you know, so skinny and with obviously looks like a drug user. So there's so much more. Digital citizenship, cybersecurity. We think our kids are alone in their room, but if they have a phone or they have their iPad or computer, they're not alone. We have to do a lot of awareness with our students and with our families to make sure that we're also addressing safety from that angle. I remember this already. In addition to that, we have a huge emphasis on mental health wellness for our students. We have 28 technicians. And so you see, all of this is significant funding because it's not free, okay? But as a district, you can't do everything, but you have to do the things that are most important. And so this is an area that we have worked on, and with the support of our Board of Education, we've done, I believe, a really good job. The school has a wellness center. We have clinicians who work with students, and we have everything from whole class lessons. And some things are not necessarily when the kid's breaking down. Some things are as basic. You think, you know, when we were little, you went out and played, right? You learned social skills. You learned how to get along with people. You learned how to argue and how to resolve problems. Our kids don't have those skills always anymore. And so sometimes it may be that they need to learn how to get along with others, how to make friends, how to say I'm sorry, how to resolve issues with a friend, with the things that you would have never thought that need to be done. So we do whole class lessons, and then for kids who are struggling, there's smaller classes, and if they're really needing the one-to-one, then we also have counseling for our students as well. All right, so that has to do with safety. Now we're going to get to Measure ES. And why am I covering this? Because I got to tell you, I'm going to take off my superintendent hat and just my citizen hat. I live in Fullerton. 2 years ago, elementary school district, the high school district, and the city came to us as citizens asking for bond money. Heavy hit. So I recognize, and for me, I'm thinking, okay, that's how much I started adding the money, and then I want to know information, what is it that you're going to do, etc., right? I recognize as a citizen that asking the community for money is a lot. And a school district has the duty, the responsibility to make sure that those monies are put to great use. And so here's a basic information as to when it was passed and the breakdown, etc. These are some of the things that you see that have been completed, and you'll find the same information in the brochure. It's all here, and I brought it here just so that you would see. You could take it with you. We mail these out to the homes, but with so many mailers that you're getting, some of those get tossed away. So in case you didn't see it, there you go. If you go to any of our campuses, you'll see a lot of great upgrades. And I love that because the community needs to see that their monies are being put to great use. We did a school tour event last year. We're going to do another one. We'll send out the date. That's an opportunity for any of you who really want to step onto our campuses to see what does this look like and what does it mean to learning and to students. We have near completion, Holland Crest Middle School. That one, I got to tell you, it looks done, but I have my manager of facilities who looks at every single detail and is going to hold these contractors accountable. So they may be wanting to be done, so he's like, nope, we gotta fix that. So we're still waiting, but we have that near completion. Then we have science labs, we have HVAC systems, parking lot at 2 different schools, and then of course that project that just seems to take forever, the District Performing Arts Center. This is something that I think is important, and we didn't have to do this, but I tell you, I believe that it is our duty, our responsibility to find every opportunity to save the taxpayer dollars some monies. And so we went back to see if we could improve our rating, our credit rating. And so it's a lengthy process, okay? We were able to achieve getting a better rating. And so as you can see, this is the first time ever that the West Covina Unified School District got a AA1 bond rating from Moody's. What does that mean? A lower interest rate. What does that mean? $10 million in savings for taxpayers. I think it's something that we're just so proud of that. We're one of 8 school districts with this rating in Southern California. And lastly, for me as superintendent, there's no way that I can succeed if I don't have the support from my board. And, I come up with, I think differently. I do things a little bit different. And the way that I operate is that if I come to my board with something, Flowers knows this, I'm going to bring you data. It's not because I think it's wonderful, it's because here's the data. Here's the budget. This is where it's coming from. Here's the grant that we're applying to pay for that, etc. And thus far, they have been nothing but supportive, and I feel very grateful. We're able to do great things because we have a governance team that, while there may be differences at times, when it comes down to doing the work that they're there to do what's in the best interest of our kids and our community at large, our schools, they do it. So thank you, and I'll open it up for any questions. Yes, sir.
I'm concerned about the erosion of parental rights. Has there been a situation where a coalition of government agencies got together to do something to a child in the school district that the parents didn't approve of?
We haven't had it. I know where you're going with this. Okay, so I think you emailed about this as well. No, we haven't. And like I said, we keep those things out of our school district. You won't find too many school districts where you have an invocation at the beginning of our meeting. We're very patriotic as well, and we stay very much focused on doing our work. There's times where government will come in and intervene. There's things that we have to do. We're a public agency. And I tell folks, like for example, COVID. I didn't want to close schools, but guess what? I work for a school district. And as a school district, there are certain things that you are required to do. And if that doesn't fit with me, then I need to go find a private institution, right? But there are things that maybe you don't have to be as aggressive. For example, cell phones. I've been asked, are you going to put in a policy? We don't need to put in a policy for practices that we already have in place. The cell phones are not an issue in our classrooms. When a child walks in, they put it in a cubby area with their numbers. And so the answer is no.
And I have a question about truancy. How about an issue of truancy that from your school district that got into a courtroom and the parent got put in jail? Is there anything like that in the school district?
No, we actually, when we have issues around attendance, we work directly with our families. We don't know what struggles they're going through. And so our aim is to work with them, and we do that. And yes, sometimes we do home visits, and yes, sometimes we do have an SRO that may go there. But you know, there may be something going on, and we can't just assume. No, we don't. We're you know, the beauty about West Covina Unified is that the size of our district, I think, is the perfect size. If we were in LA Unified, you get lost. Here, I'm able to be in our schools. I get to know these kids by name. I don't know all of them by name, but I get to know so many of them by name and their families. It's a community. It's like a family feel. We're not a huge bureaucracy that gets lost with our kids are not numbers. Our employees are not numbers. They're human beings. And I think that we're able to accomplish so much and get to know our students and their families and our staff because we're the perfect size.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to know, when you see our superintendent, she's involved. She's here. She's there. They say she's everywhere. You know, you'll see me, when you see me at the event, I represent my district. And I try to be positive about it, but we have a great superintendent she goes to all of, she always says site visit to see what's going on in different schools. This woman here, she's involved in our school district. But it's because of all of you also. Our district wouldn't be the same if it wouldn't for this community here. We love you guys, and we just, you know, we want to make West Covina proud. And when you look around, you see all the things that's going on around the district. You never hear nothing bad about our school district. So, you know, it starts at the top. So our district is on top and rising continuously. So, you know, you hear stuff is happening. So, and like Mr. Shoemaker, he used to be on our oversight committee. So he kept us in line, made sure that bond money was going right.
I heard you did a good job, by the way. Yes, sir.
Just a quick one. Also, the staff, and some of this was before your time, and I know you still have some of the same people, did a fantastic job. They stayed on the contractors. They stayed on people to make sure that it worked. They went out looking for other money, so they're able to do things that that worked in the original plan to actually better
Yes.
the thing. I do have one quick question though. Is the rate that you have, is that for new money that you might get, or is that for all of it? Because originally we were like at 2.31.
No, actually, I would have to go back to my data. I'm gonna have to connect with you. I don't know that your data's correct. I'll have to go back to that because
It was because the city was bragging about their rate, and it was 1.5 points higher.
let me. I'll leave that one alone. But I will get information to connect with you.
Because I know you've had to buy others, and interest rates changed. So.
It will, you know, and in this economy, it's a little bit more challenging because look at the current rate, and so to get that type of rating.
I was just wondering. I know you're getting good rates in comparison to what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering, was that, you know, it is good. When people are buying homes, they have to pay 6-7%. You're getting half that, so it's a great job. I was just wondering if, was it for the later ones? Because I know originally you took out the 75 million. Now you had to take the rest of it. And
It's
of course
for what's
it's gonna cost
left.
you a lot more.
It's for what's left. It's not for the total amount. Yes.
So I can
Yes.
see where that number
Yes.
would be. Okay,
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Do you have any programs for those kids that are not going to go to college, that are our future carpenters, plumbers, electricians?
I do. But see, this presentation could have been 5 hours long. So, can you? Sure. These right here it's college and career. Okay. So we have a lot of pathways, and I'm glad you asked that question because it's true. Not every child is going to go to college, and guess what? The times have changed. You don't need a college, and You have me on record, huh? You don't need a college education to succeed.
That's right.
You don't. But you need a pathway because you can't just stumble through life. You need a goal. And so in our school district, we actually have different pathways, and I brought some copies. And you can see in our high schools what we have. And actually, some of these are going to be changing because I'm finding that there's opportunity to expose our kids to different fields that we currently don't have. You'll see next year. I'll keep you posted. If I come back around next year, you'll see a couple things that are different. But yes, I agree with you. It is important to know that things have changed. College doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only way to achieve your goals, your career. And so we have different opportunities within our schools. And we have, for example, we have in the area, of course, the arts, design, we have engineering and architecture. You see marketing, sales, information and communication technologies, public service, etc. And each school has different things. But we're looking at this, and there's a couple, for example, at Edgewood. I won't say which ones they are, but they're going to be changing next year. And then Coronado. Okay, Coronado needs to have more, so we're actually adding more to Coronado. So there's opportunities, and so thank you for asking that question because I think it's so important. Again, not every student is going to be going to college. Not every student wants to go to college. They may be interested in something where they could really get a career that's going to actually pay them a lot of good money.
Yep.
So thank you for asking that. Other questions?
Performing Arts Center at West Covina High School. Do we know when that's going to open?
Hello. Did you read this?
Not
Put me
yet.
on the spot, Mario. I know. We actually had 34 roofers out there a week and a half ago because, I get asked all the time, when is that sucker going to be done? Okay. And they're not asking all of you guys, they're asking me. So, yes, we're putting a lot of pressure on getting it done. So, yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. It's always a pleasure to come here and spend some time with you. Thank you so much for everything that you do to support our school district. We know that we could always count on you as our partners, and we're just so proud. Of course, there's always room for improvement. We're not perfect, and we will continue to go from good to great to excellent. Yes, ma'am.
I do want to make a comment, is that I want to say thank you for helping the students at the school and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure.
Definitely.
I love what I do. This is my passion, so thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.